Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today we have A Path with Broken Heels. People wanted me to listen to another Cinderella reaction, or at least a song that's about her and her story in old tales. So here we are, and good God, the picture on this one, holy shit. How much boob do you have to have? Anyway, without further ado, let's go. Okay. Not the vibe I was expecting, considering what I've learned. Is this like her villain song? That would totally make sense. The picture helps with that too, but this definitely sounds like Cinderella's like evil track. Still has that regal sound to it that I expect out of a character like her. Very compressed, very punchy drums too. Ooh, even the snare is really compressed. The drums as a whole, good lord. Just crush the ever-loving hell out of these. More of a slap than a drum kit. I'm listening to all the layers now, just focusing on them and getting everything figured out in my head. The choir is huge. Even bigger. Much like something else on the screen. I said I wasn't going to bring it up. But good lord. I'm really shocked that they made the drums this compressed. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of an interesting take with all the other sound in this. It's a bold move. I love those like really high moments, like the absolute peak of the vocals. There's something kind of Doom-esque about this soundtrack. It's probably just the riffs on the guitar. The very specific movements. The patterns of like that. It's got a good like symphonic metal kind of feel to it, but also not at all. It's just boss music, really. This is what I would define as boss music. But that's exactly why I'm getting that feel out of it. That it feels like this is her boss theme. I think the one word that best summarizes this song is corruption, because I've heard the other themes around this character, and like I did mention, those are usually a little bit more pretty, and it did have a little bit of that beauty in it, but it was definitely a more haunting edge to that beauty. It wasn't the usual sort of bright happiness or even just a little bit sad and melancholic style that we've gotten before. This was something completely different. This was the darkness taking over, and that picture, like I said, did help with kind of giving me that hint that this is like her boss theme, but I would have understood that without that image at all, because that's exactly what this sounded like. There is a choir of the damned, and I feel like that is basically her own soul kind of crying out. You know, everything about this song had so much darkness to it that it's really hard to think of it in any other way. But it also still did have a little bit of that in there. Like, it wasn't forgetting who the character was, but it was also trying to make you understand that that person that once was there is currently, at this point in time, no longer there. I'm not sure if she ever like gets a redemption out of this, or this is where she meets her end, you know, something like that. I'm not sure where that goes. I know where the ending is, I know what happens, but I don't know at what point this song takes place. I don't know if there's a redemption after this or not. I don't know what that story beat is. But either way, it doesn't really sound like it, because it sounds like this character is fully encompassed by this at the end of that song. All of that beauty has basically melted away. As the song gets more and more dark and it spends more time in that sound, all that stuff I was mentioning near the beginning, how it still had a little bit of that lightness to it, was almost entirely gone by the end of the song. It had fully committed to that darker tone, and it was not going to back out anytime soon. A lot of that was also accented with all those like heavy stings too, the pattern being the one thing that did it, like that's a very strong downfall, and that would bring your mind to this place of, okay, somebody is falling down, and whether that's psychologically, physically, is kind of up to the context of the song, but I'm figuring this case is probably mental. Like, this character is losing their sense of self, and that song, while having extremely strong notes to back that up, is kind of forcing you downward. Like, the more you hear it, the more you're like, God, she's really falling. Like, there's no sense of the lift in this song after that like initial like minute of the song or so. All that's gone. So it's just constantly beating you down and beating her down throughout the course of the song, and it just never goes back up. There's really no upward momentum in this song whatsoever. So that's really forcing that mental image of this character just falling down into a pit they're never going to get out of, and you're kind of stuck watching that unfortunate spiral in front of you, and kind of without a cry for help either. That's what's even more unsettling about it. The fact that it doesn't have any more of that motif from the beginning, that lighter stuff. I don't even know if I would qualify it as a motif. It just had some more lightness on the high end, especially in the strings, and it had some more major chord stuff going on, but the rest of the song was like all minor chords and everything pulling downwards, so you lose all that. But then there's still no sense that this character is showing an emotional awareness. It's like she's completely gone. There is nothing behind those eyes at this point, and you're kind of just watching her as a shell of herself. And that's kind of disappointing. The fact that there is no redeemable quality in this song. It's just like you're watching your best friend fall apart, and they aren't showing any signs of humanity anymore. And that's really scary. And this song shows that, and it qualifies that in such a profound way by not having any redeemable qualities in the music itself. That's not saying that the music isn't beautiful, and in itself it is gorgeous and it is redeeming itself by doing its job so well, but what I mean by that is character-driven stuff. There's no redeeming the character in this state. There's no qualifications in the song that is going to pull her out of this. There's nothing hinting at a redemption. So what I was fearing from the beginning, as things started to fade out and become more dark as the song went on, and not bringing any of that back, I was definitely getting more concerned as the song went on. I feel like that is probably what the players are supposed to think in that moment as well. They're supposed to lose faith and lose hope. And like I said, I don't know when this happens in the story, but I do know how it ends. So I'm kind of wondering, if this is one of the last things, if not the last thing you hear before that inevitable end. So it's like, what's going on here? I'm just trying to be vague, by the way, for anybody who hasn't played this story. I'm not going to tell you what happens if you don't know. I don't know how old this one is. I think it's only about a year old, so I don't know if you've played it or not. Point is, not doing spoilers here. I know how it ends, but I just don't know if this is right before the good or right before the bad, you know? So here we are, and that, I guess, is really all I've got to say. This one was beautiful in its darkness, in that lacking of redeemable qualities for the character in the song, but at the same time, it's still depressing to hear this and kind of watch, metaphorically, a character go through something that is so emotionally crushing that you really don't know what to make of it in context. And I think that's reflected in the name as well, A Path with Broken Heels, showing that there is that fracture there, and there's no lift to this song. It's literally flat. It kind of sits, it pulls you down, just like if your heels were broken, your feet do this. So it's kind of an interesting way to think about that as well, just trying to put that context into place mentally. I think that name works really well with this song, considering there is no lift and there is no support here other than everything pulling you down. It's doing the exact opposite of what you want. But I think I'll end my yapping here, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have anything else from NIKKE you want me to get to, by all means, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to them. And if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!